I'm the biggest boss in the southern city, with 300 men under my command, each one tattooed with dragons and tigers. The day the police launched a raid, they surrounded my nightclub completely. The female officer leading the team kicked open the door to my private room, ordering everyone to get on the ground, hands on their heads, and hand over the contraband. But the room was dead silent. 300 shirtless, brawny men slowly raised their trembling hands. In their grasp were not knives, not drugs, but 5 years' worth of university entrance exam papers. And 3 years of mock exams. I crushed out my cigarette, slowly rose to my feet, and pointed to the trigonometric functions on the blackboard. "Officer," I said, "is it illegal for us to study?" The female officer stared in astonishment at the motto covering the wall, "Knowledge changes destiny." The riot police behind her were just as stunned. The entire room had no music, no alcohol, no women. Only the thick, mixed scent of sweat and ink hung in the air. 300 shirtless, brawny men. The tattoos on their bodies reflected the light. They were squatting on the floor, hands clasped behind their heads. In front of each of them was a set of 5 years' worth of university entrance exams and 3 years of mock tests. "My name is Joe Long, and I am their leader." Lin Wan's gaze shifted from the sign on the wall that read, "Never underestimate a poor young man," to my face. "Joe Long, what kind of game are you playing?" Her voice was cold. I pointed to the blackboard in front of me, which was packed with trigonometric formulas. "We're studying." "Officer, is there a law against studying at night?" Lin Wan said nothing. A young officer beside her couldn't take it anymore and slammed his baton on a table. "Stop pretending. Where's your contraband? The drugs, the guns, where have you hidden them all?" Lin Wan regained her composure. She waved her hand and ordered, "Search." A group of officers swarmed in, beginning to tear the place apart. My men were incredibly calm. They remained squatting on the floor with their hands on their heads, but their eyes were glued to the practice questions in front of them. One of my men, nicknamed Firecracker, asked softly, "Brother Long, can I just do 2 more multiple-choice questions?" "Time's almost up." I nodded. "Go ahead, just be careful not to smudge your answer sheet." Lin Wan overheard our conversation, and a muscle in her face twitched. Half an hour later, "Inspector Lin, we didn't find anything. Except," he paused, a strange look on his face, "except for over 500 copies of the 5-year university entrance exam collection and the 3-year mock test series, and 80 boxes of A4 scratch paper. And tons of test prep books." Lin Wan's expression froze. She walked up to me and stared me straight in the eye. "Joe Long, what exactly are you up to?" I looked at her and answered seriously. "I want to get my men into university so they can find legitimate jobs with Social Security." Lin Wan fell silent. She looked at the 300 men in the room, then at the "Knowledge changes destiny" motto on the wall. Finally, she holstered her gun. "Everyone, pull out." The police withdrew quickly. As she reached the door, Lin Wan turned back and shot me a look. "Joe Long, I'll be watching you. I'll be waiting." The nightclub door closed once again. I addressed my men, "All right, the police are gone. All of you, on your feet." 300 men stood up in unison. "Back to your studies." "Yes, sir." "Brother Long." The roar was deafening. I picked up a piece of chalk and walked onto the stage. Where were we? The law of cosines. "Everyone, pick up your pens. Take notes." The only sound in the room was the scratching of pens on paper. Lin Wan hadn't left. She was sitting in the control room, watching the surveillance monitors. On the screen, I was furiously writing on the blackboard, "Inspector Lin, they must be up to something. Since when does an entire gang of mobsters study for university entrance exams together?" Lin Wan didn't reply. She just stared at my image on the monitor. On screen, I wiped the sweat from my brow. This is a giveaway question. How could anyone still get it wrong? "Firecracker, get up here. Solve it for us." The man named Firecracker, who had a scar across his face, walked onto the stage looking like he was about to cry. He picked up the chalk, his hand trembling uncontrollably. In the control room, Lin Wan's brows furrowed even tighter. She picked up her radio. "I'm staying here tonight." Lin Wan actually booked a room in the hotel directly across from the nightclub. She used a pair of binoculars to watch our every move. The next morning, at 6 o'clock sharp, the nightclub doors opened on time. My 300 men, all dressed in matching tracksuits, came out for their morning jog. As they ran, they chanted something. Lin Wan used her high-powered binoculars to get a clear look. The man leading the run was Ah Hu, holding a small book. The cover read, 3,500 must-know high school English vocabulary words. The slogan they were shouting was, "As heaven maintains its vigor through movement, a gentleman should constantly strive for self-perfection. As the earth's condition is receptive devotion, a gentleman should hold the outer world with broad virtue." In the hotel room, the young officer's jaw dropped. "Inspector Lin, hey, they're even jogging in formation." Lin Wan put down her binoculars and rubbed her eyes. She felt like her worldview was being turned upside down. For the entire day, she watched us. In the morning, we studied math and physics. In the afternoon, Chinese and English. In the evening, chemistry and biology, followed by a full comprehensive science exam. Our schedule was more rigorous than any top high schools. During meals, English listening tapes played in the cafeteria. In the bathrooms, the periodic table was posted on every stall door. At 10 p.m. sharp, it was lights out. Not a single sound of commotion could be heard from the entire nightclub. Only the rustling of pages and the scratching of pens. On the third day, Lin Wan couldn't stand it any longer. She came again. This time, she didn't bring a team, just that young officer. When she walked into the room, we were in the middle of our weekly mock exam. The atmosphere was tense. I was proctoring the exam from the stage. Seeing her enter, I gestured for her to be quiet. Lin Wan stood at the door, watching 300 tattooed men diligently writing their answers. One of the guys wanted to scratch an itch and had just raised his hand. But a single sharp glance from me made him immediately put it back down and continue with his test. Exam discipline must be strictly enforced. After the exam, I collected the papers. 10-minute break. The men let out a huge sigh of relief. Some massaged their sore necks, while others slumped over their desks, unwilling to move. Lin Wan walked up to me. "Joe Long, I need to talk to you." I nodded. "Let's go to my office." It was the nightclub's former manager's office. Now, instead of famous paintings, the walls were covered with a large world map and a chronological table of Chinese history. Lin Wan sat down and got straight to the point. "What is your goal?" I replied. "To get into university." "I don't believe you." 300 thugs who've been in the game for over a decade suddenly drop their knives and pick up pens? "Joe Long, do you really think I'd believe that?" I poured her a cup of tea. "Whether you believe it or not is your business. I'm just doing what I think is right." Lin Wan stared at me. "These men of yours, their combined criminal records could fill a book. Do you think they're even eligible to take the university entrance exam?" "Eligibility is not for me to decide." I pushed a copy of the education law towards her. "The law decides. It's written right here. Every citizen has an equal right to education. Regardless of gender, age, ethnicity, race, or educational level, they can all participate in the university entrance examination. My brothers are citizens, too." Lin Wan was speechless. She picked up the law book, its edges worn from frequent use, its pages filled with highlighted passages. She was silent for a long time. "Where did you get the money for all these expenses?" "My savings from before." "Is it enough? If we're frugal, it should last until the exam." Lin Wan then asked, "And the teachers you've hired?" "I'm teaching them myself." "You?" Her face was filled with disbelief. I took out a yellowed piece of paper from a drawer. It was my own university entrance exam score report from many years ago. Lin Wan took it. When she saw the score on it, her pupils contracted. A total score of 718. The top science student in the province. She looked up, her face a mask of shock. "Why didn't you go to university that year?" I took the report back, folded it carefully, and put it back in the drawer. My family was poor, and my father's legs were broken by someone. He needed money for treatment. I went to collect the medical fees and ended up seriously injuring someone. I was sentenced to 5 years in prison. I spoke calmly, as if telling someone else's story. Lin Wan's expression grew complicated. She didn't press further. The office fell silent. After a moment, she spoke. "Even if you get in, what about your men? Most of them didn't even finish junior high." "You don't need to worry about that," I said. "I believe in them." Just then, there was a knock on the door. Ah Hu peeked his head in. "Brother Long, bad news. Mad Dog Wong brought his crew to wreck the place." Lin Wan's expression changed instantly. She shot to her feet, her hand reaching for the gun at her waist. I pressed her hand down. "Officer, this is my turf. I'll handle it." I stood up and straightened my collar. Then I gave Lin Wan a smile. "Perfect timing. You can see the results of our studies." I walked out of the office. In the nightclub's main hall, dozens of gangsters stood wielding steel pipes. Their leader was Mad Dog Wong from the west side of town. My old rival. Mad Dog Wong sneered when he saw me. Joe Long, heard you switched careers and became a teacher? Stopped collecting protection money and started charging tuition instead, huh? The gangsters behind him roared with laughter. My men stood opposite them, unarmed. What they were holding was the mock exam papers that had just been handed out. Every one of them had a look of fury on their face. I walked in front of them. Mad Dog Wong, long time no see. What brings you to my place? Mad Dog Wong pointed his steel pipe at me. Nothing much. Just heard your place has good feng shui and wanted to borrow it for a while. My boys are a bit short on cash lately. We'd like to set up a few gambling dens here, earn a little pocket money. This was a blatant challenge. In the past, I would have already sent Ahu and the others to deal with them. But today, I did things differently. I looked at Mad Dog Wong. You can set up your dens, but you have to follow my rules. Mad Dog Wong was taken aback. Your rules? What rules? I turned to Firecracker. Go get our recruitment regulations and show him. Firecracker ran into the room and came back with a sheet of A4 paper. He handed it to Mad Dog Wong. Mad Dog Wong took it and glanced at it. The fat on his face trembled. Joe Long, you want me to join your gang? Rule 1. Memorize and write out the entire text of asterisk and exhortation to learning. Rule 2. Master all 5 methods for solving quadratic equations with one variable. Rule 3. Possess a level 4 English vocabulary of no less than 2,000 words. What kind of bullshit rules are these? He threw the paper on the floor. I bent down and picked it up. I smoothed it out. These are the rules of the new era, Mad Dog Wong. This is a knowledge-based economy now. Fighting and killing have no future. If you want to join, you're welcome. I'll even personally tutor you in math. Mad Dog Wong was trembling with rage. Tutor my ass. He raised the steel pipe and swung it at my head. Lin Wan shouted from the office doorway, "Stop!" But it was too late. The pipe sliced through the air. It was just above my head. I didn't move. A hand shot out from beside me, grabbing the pipe firmly. It was Ahu. His other hand held his exam paper, his eyes never leaving it. He just spoke calmly to Mad Dog Wong. "Sir, please do not disturb our studies. Brother Long said that before the university entrance exam, anyone who disrupts our revision is our enemy." Mad Dog Wong was stunned. He tried to pull the pipe back, but Ahu's hand was like a steel vice. He turned red, using all his strength, but the pipe didn't budge an inch. Ahu was still looking at his paper, muttering, F equals ma. Force is what causes a change in an object's state of motion. Suddenly, he looked up. He stared at Mad Dog Wong. "You want to hit Brother Long's head with this pipe, you need to create acceleration. According to Newton's second law, the force you apply, minus the resistance from my hand, will result in a net force that causes acceleration. Judging by the current situation, your force is insufficient." As Ahu finished speaking, he gave a slight flick of his wrist. Mad Dog Wong cried out in pain. The pipe flew from his hand, and he stumbled back several steps. The gang of thugs he brought were all dumbfounded. What was this situation? Did you have to study physics before starting a fight now? I patted Ahu's shoulder lightly. Putting knowledge into practice, not bad, but to deal with people like this, you don't need to be so complicated. I walked forward, picked up the steel pipe from the floor, and weighed it in my hand. Mad Dog Wong, do you know the principle of the lever? Mad Dog Wong clutched his wrist, looking at me warily. What crap is that? Archimedes once said, "Give me a fulcrum, and I shall move the world." I placed one end of the pipe on the ground and stepped on the other end with my foot. Then, using just 2 fingers, I gently pinched the middle of the pipe. With just a little bit of force, the solid steel pipe bent from the middle. It formed a perfect 90-degree angle. The entire room fell silent. Mad Dog Wong and his gang of thugs looked like their eyes were about to pop out of their sockets. He tossed the bent pipe at his feet. The point of force application, the fulcrum, and the length of the lever arm determined the final result. Brute force is the lowest form of expression. One must use knowledge to achieve great results with little effort. I looked at him. Now, do you still want to set up a gambling den here? Mad Dog Wang's face turned from pale to green. He looked at me, then at the 300 men holding exam papers behind me. The look in their eyes was as if they were staring at a pest interrupting their reading. He chickened out. "Joe Long, you just wait." He spat out a threat and then led his men away in defeat. The crisis was averted. My men rushed over. "Brother Long, you were amazing. Brother Long, that lever principle just now, Could you explain it again? I didn't get it, and Newton's second law too. Brother Ahu, can you recite it again? The scene instantly turned into an academic seminar. Their chatter gave me a headache. All of you, back to your exams, now. Anyone who scores less than 100 on today's comprehensive science test gets no dinner tonight. The crowd dispersed immediately. The hall fell silent again. Just then, Lin Wan walked out of the office. The look she gave me was very complex. There was shock, there was doubt, and there was something else I couldn't quite decipher. Zhou Long, you're not the same as before. I smiled. People have to grow, officer. Is there anything else? If not, I'm going to grade the papers. Lin Wan shook her head. I just wanted to confirm if you were really choosing to walk the right path. Now I see. With that, she turned and left. When she reached the door, she stopped again. Oh, right, the lever principle you used just now. If the length of the lever arm is doubled, you only need half the force, right? I was stunned for a moment. Then I nodded. Theoretically, yes. Lin Wan let out an, oh, I see. Sorry to bother you. She was gone. Watching her retreating figure, I found it a little amusing. It seemed I had not only taught my brothers a lesson, but also given a live physics lecture to a police officer. The following days were peaceful. Mad Dog Wong never came back to cause trouble, and Lin Wan didn't show up again either. But we all knew she was still watching us from somewhere. This created an invisible pressure on the brothers, but it also became their motivation. They studied even harder, wanting to prove to that female officer that they weren't just putting on an act. Time flew by. In the blink of an eye, there were only 100 days left before the university entrance exam. A bright red countdown sign was hung in the nightclub. The atmosphere grew increasingly tense. Everyone was under immense pressure. To relieve some of it, I organized a pledge rally. In the main hall of the nightclub, 300 brothers wore identical t-shirts, with 4 large characters printed on the chest. Knowledge changes destiny. They stood under a red flag, raised their right fists, and repeated the oath after me. 100 days, we will create a miracle. 100 days, we will change our fate. Tsinghua, Peking University, here we come. The shouts echoed through the hall. After the shouting, everyone's blood was pumping, as if their university acceptance letters were within reach. But just then, an uninvited guest interrupted our high spirits. A man in a suit walked in with a large entourage. His name was Zhao Sahai, the real power behind the scenes in this area. Mad Dog Wong was just a dog he kept. I used to work for him, but later I broke away and started my own operation. We went our separate ways. When he saw our setup, he was stunned for a moment, then burst out laughing. Zhou Long, what are you doing? Cosplaying as a prestigious high school? I looked at him. Brother C, what brings you here? Zhao Sahai walked up to me and patted my shoulder lightly. Long, stop this childish game. Come back with me. I've secured the land on the east side of the city. From now on, I'll let you manage all the business over there. His offer was tempting. Any gangster would find it hard to refuse. But I refused. Brother C, thank you, but I'm retired now. Zhao Sahai's face darkened. Zhou Long, don't be ungrateful. You think reading a few books can wash you clean? You were born in the mud. And these men of yours, they're all mud, too. Mud can't be plastered on a wall. His words were incredibly harsh. My brothers were furious, their fists clenched. I stopped them. I said to Zhao Sahai, whether we're mud or not is not for you to decide. The university entrance exam will prove everything. Zhao Sahai sneered. The entrance exam? With them? He pointed at the scar on Pao Zhang's face. Go ask him what a parabola is. Then he pointed to the tattoo on Ahu's body. Go ask him if he knows who Shakespeare is. Zhou Long, stop fooling yourself. You guys were not born to study. Your destiny is to rot at the bottom of society. After speaking, he took a check out of his pocket. 1 million. Take the money and shut down this pathetic cram school of yours. Otherwise, you'll face the consequences. The check slowly fluttered to the floor. I didn't bend down to pick it up, but instead stared into Zhao Sahai's eyes. I said, word by word, our destiny is in our own hands. Zhao Sahai's eyes narrowed. Zhou Long, are you sure you want to make an enemy of me for this ridiculous dream? This isn't a dream. I said, this is our only way out. Zhao Sahai burst out laughing, his laughter filled with contempt. Fine, I'll wait and see what you pieces of mud can accomplish. He turned around. Let's go. The group of men in suits followed him out of the hall. The atmosphere in the room was heavy. The brothers looked at me, then at the check on the floor. 1 million. For us, that was a huge sum of money, enough to solve all our financial problems. Pao Zhang walked over. He picked up the check and handed it to me. Brother Long, I didn't take it. I looked at him. Pao Zhang, tell me, what is the standard equation of a parabola? Pao Zhang froze. He opened his mouth but couldn't say anything. His face turned beet red. I turned to Ah Hu. Ah Hu, what are Shakespeare's 4 great tragedies? Ah Hu was stumped too. Hamlet, Othello, and I looked around. Everyone bowed their heads. Zhao Sahai's words were like needles, piercing everyone's heart. Yes, are we really educated? Can we really change our fate? A long silence. Suddenly, the youngest brother, Xiao Ma, started to cry. Brother Long, am I really stupid? I can't even understand the simplest set theory problems. Am I just mud, like Zhao Sahai said? His sobs seemed contagious. Soon, many of the brothers' eyes turned red. They weren't afraid of fighting, not afraid of bleeding. But they were afraid of being looked down upon, and even more afraid that they were exactly what others said they were. Utterly worthless. I walked up to Xiao Ma and patted his shoulder gently. Xiao Ma, you're not stupid, you just never had the chance to study before. I took the math paper from his hand and pointed to a question he got wrong. Look, your approach to this problem was correct. It was just the final calculation step. You mistook a plus sign for a minus sign. That's not stupidity, that's carelessness. Then, I walked onto the stage to face all my brothers. I picked up a piece of chalk and wrote 2 large characters on the blackboard. Dignity. I turned back. Do you know what dignity is? Before, we thought that whoever had the stronger fist had dignity. Whoever had more influence had dignity. But we were wrong. That kind of dignity is fake. It shatters with a single push. Why did Zhao Sahai dare to call us mud to our faces today? Because he has money, power, and education. With a flick of his finger, he can crush us. And what do we have? Besides our fists, we have nothing. That's why we have no dignity. I pointed to the words on the blackboard. Real dignity isn't given to you by others. You have to earn it yourself. And how do you earn it? With this, I held up the 5-year university entrance exam book and the 3-year mock exams. Knowledge, when you can solve the hardest math problems, when you can write the most beautiful essays, when you can speak fluent English, who will dare to call you mud? When you hold your university acceptance letter and find a good job, and live with your head held high, who will dare to look down on you? It doesn't matter if Zhao Sahai looks down on us. It doesn't even matter if the whole world looks down on us. But we cannot look down on ourselves. My voice boomed throughout the hall. The brothers slowly raised their heads. The confusion and self-doubt in their eyes were gradually replaced by a determined glint. Pao Zhang suddenly roared. He walked up to me, snatched the check from my hand, and tore it to shreds. Screw you, Zhao Sahai. Today, I'm going to carve the parabola equation into my brain. Y squared equals 2px. Ah Hu also shouted, Hamlet, Othello, King Lear, Macbeth. Not only will I memorize them, I'll read the original texts. 300 brothers were like dry firewood set ablaze. They turned all their grievances, anger, and unwillingness into motivation to study. Study, we'll study ourselves to death. Anyone who doesn't get into university is a son of a bitch. The pledge rally had turned into a study motivation conference. I watched them dive back into their books and problems. I knew that Zhao Sahai's insults hadn't destroyed us. Instead, they had made us stronger. But I also knew that this matter was far from over. Zhao Sahai was not one to give up easily. As expected, the next day, trouble arrived. The health department, the fire department, the commerce department, they all came for inspections, one after another, claiming we had serious hygiene and fire safety issues. They ordered us to temporarily shut down for rectification. I knew Zhao Sahai was behind this. He wanted to cut off our path. The brothers were furious. Brother Long, let's fight them. Yeah, let's go wreck Zhao Sahai's place. I shook my head. No, if we resort to violence now, we'll be playing right into his hands. He wants us to go back to our old ways. Then what do? Are we really going to close down? If this place closes, where will we study? I looked at the sealed main entrance and fell silent for a moment. We'll go somewhere else. Where to? To a place they would never expect. A place where they would never dare to cause trouble. Half an hour later, I led my 300 brothers to the entrance of the city's public library. Everyone carried a backpack and held textbooks, just like ordinary high school students. The librarian was a woman in her 50s. She was shocked to see our group, especially when she saw the tattoos on our bodies. What are you here for? I walked up, handed her my library card, and put on what I thought was my kindest smile. Ma'am, we're here to study for our exams. The librarian looked at us uncertainly. I pointed to the slogan on the library wall. The ocean of knowledge has no bounds, diligence is the ship. We are all good citizens who love to learn. The librarian hesitated for a long time, but finally let us in. Remember, you have to be quiet. Yes, ma'am. The 300 of us filed into the library's largest reading room. We found a corner, took out our books, and started studying. No one spoke a word. The entire reading room was filled only with the sound of turning pages and writing. The other students and citizens in the library all looked at us as if we were aliens. A burly man with a full back tattoo of Guan Yu was diligently memorizing English vocabulary. Another brother with tattooed arms was calculating complex physics formulas on scratch paper, while a man with a dragon tattoo on his neck was reading the poetry of Shu Jimo. This scene was simply too surreal. I saw some people secretly taking out their phones to take pictures of us. I didn't stop them. I wanted them to take pictures. I wanted everyone to know that we were serious. Zhao Sahai quickly found out. He was so angry he smashed a cup in his office. Those idiots. They actually ran off to the library. How am I supposed to cause trouble for them there? His subordinate asked, "Fourth master, what should we do now?" Zhao Sahai paced for a moment, then a sinister smile appeared on his face. They love to study, don't they? Then I'll add some spice for them. Find me a few top students. Go to the library and meet them on their own turf. And crush them completely. An hour later, a few young people dressed as students from a prestigious university walked into the reading room, heading straight for us. The leader was holding a math competition paper. He slapped it down on my table. The man adjusted his glasses and looked at me. His eyes filled with unconcealed contempt. "You're Joe Long?" I looked up. "What is it? I heard you guys are here studying for the university entrance exam." He pointed to the paper on the table. "This is this year's National Mathematical Olympiad qualifying paper. Care to give it a try?" Before I could speak, my brothers behind me couldn't hold back. Pao Zhang stood up. "Who the hell are you? Acting all tough here." The man didn't even glance at Pao Zhang. His eyes were fixed on me. "My name is Wu Jichao. Department of Mathematics, C University. Fourth master invited us to come and tutor you guys." When he said the word tutor, he stressed it heavily. I understood. Zhao Sahai had changed his tactics. Fights we weren't afraid of. He wanted to use what we valued most to humiliate us. He wanted to prove that when it came to studying, we were still just trash. I picked up the paper and glanced at it. The questions were extremely difficult. Truly competition level. At my brother's current level, just understanding the questions would be a challenge. Wu Jichao saw my long silence. The smile at the corner of his mouth widened. "What's wrong? Scared? Where did all that big talk from before go? The part about knowledge changing destiny? It was just a joke, wasn't it?" The students behind him also laughed. Their laughter was particularly jarring in the quiet reading room. The other people reading around us all turned to look. Their eyes were filled with curiosity and a desire to see a show. My brothers' faces turned red, their fists clenched so tight you could hear them creak. This was a humiliation more painful than being beaten. I put down the paper and looked at Wu Jichao. "How do you want to play this?" "Simple. There are 5 of us. You can send out 5 people. We'll do this paper. 1 hour. Whoever gets a higher score wins. If you win, we'll leave immediately and never bother you again. But if you lose," he paused and glanced around, "you get the hell out of here. Don't defile a sacred place like the library anymore. What do you say? Dare to bet?" Pao Zhang was anxious. "Brother Long, we can't agree to this. This is blatant bullying." "Yeah, Brother Long, we've only been studying for a short time. How can we compete with these top students from a famous university?" I ignored them and looked at Wu Jichao. "The stakes aren't high enough." Wu Jichao raised an eyebrow. "Oh, what do you want to add? If we win, you and the 4 behind you have to bow and apologize to my brothers in front of everyone in the library. Admit that you misjudged them." Wu Jichao's expression changed. He didn't expect me to dare to propose such a condition. A student behind him said, "Brother Chao, don't waste time with him. How can these illiterates possibly beat us?" Wu Jichao thought for a moment. Then he nodded. "I agree, but if you lose, Besides getting out of the library, you, Joe Long, will have to kneel and shine our shoes. Deal. I stood up. On our side, we don't need 5 people. I'm enough. Everyone present gasped, looking at me as if I were a madman. Wu Jichao was also stunned. Then, he burst into laughter. Joe Long, has studying made you crazy? One person, taking on 5 of us from the math department of C University? Who do you think you are? Hua Lugeng? I didn't say anything. I just pulled up a chair, sat down, and picked up a pen. Can we start? 1 hour timer. Seeing that I wasn't joking, Wu Jichao stopped smiling. Fine, you asked for this. Don't come crying for mercy later. The librarian wanted to intervene, but seeing our tense atmosphere, she didn't dare to approach. She could only watch nervously from a distance. Time ticked by. Wu Jichao and his group quickly entered a state of concentration. As expected of top students from a prestigious university, their problem-solving speed was incredible. The tips of their pens flew across the paper with almost no pauses. As for me, I hadn't started writing yet. I just stared at the paper, as if in a daze. My brothers started to get anxious. What is Brother Long doing? Why isn't he writing? We're done for, we're done for. We're going to be humiliated this time. Wu Jichao, who was next to me, also noticed my state. He glanced at me contemptuously, a triumphant smile on his face. In his eyes, I probably couldn't even understand the questions, so I had given up. 30 minutes passed. Wu Jichao's group had finished more than half the paper. My answer sheet, however, was still blank. I hadn't even written my name. Firecracker was so anxious he was about to cry. He looked like he wanted to rush over and write for me. And just then, I moved. I picked up my pen, but I didn't start solving the problems. Instead, I flipped the paper over. On the blank back, I started writing. Everyone was stunned. They didn't know what I was doing. Wu Jichao also frowned. He thought I was putting on a show. I ignored everyone's gazes. I was completely immersed in my own world. My writing speed got faster and faster. Numbers, formulas, symbols flowed from my pen. They were no longer boring mathematical language, but an army under my command, conquering city after city. In my mind, a scene from a summer many years ago appeared. I was just like this, sitting at an old desk, using knowledge as my only weapon, fighting against poverty and an unjust fate. That feeling, I had found it again. At the 50-minute mark, all 5 members of Wu Jichao's group put down their pens. They let out a long sigh of relief, their faces relaxed. Although the questions were difficult, they had finished. They looked at each other and saw confidence in each other's eyes. Wu Jichao stood up and walked over to me. He looked down at me with a superior air. Joe Long, time is almost up. How many words have you written? Want me to let you copy a bit? His words drew a burst of mocking laughter. I didn't look up. I wrote down the last number and then put down my pen. I'm done, I said. Wu Jichao was stunned for a moment. He leaned over to look at my paper. The front was blank. He laughed instantly. Done? Joe Long, do you think we're stupid? You haven't written a single word and you say you're done? I flipped the paper over. I wrote on the back. Wu Jichao picked up my paper. When he saw the content on the back, the smile on his face froze instantly. The back of the paper was densely packed with solutions. But it wasn't just the solution to one problem. It was for all the problems. I used a method they had never seen before. I constructed a unified mathematical model and transformed every question on the paper into different parameter problems under this model. In the end, I used just one core formula to derive the answers to all the questions. This wasn't just problem solving, it was a dimensional attack. Wu Jichao and his friends all crowded around. They stared at my solution as if they had seen something unbelievable. Their expressions changed from shock to confusion, and finally to awe. 1 hour. Time's up. I stood up. Can we check the answers now? Wu Jichao didn't speak. He and his friend's eyes were still glued to my paper, as if drawn by a magnet. They looked and whispered among themselves. This model is too brilliant. How did he come up with it? This is like completely restructuring the problems. Look at this proof step. It's divine. They had completely forgotten about the competition, completely immersed in my problem-solving approach, like devout followers. Witnessing a miracle, I was losing my patience and tapped the table. Hey, the competition is over. Who won and who lost? There should be a verdict. Only then did Wu Jichao snap out of it. He looked up at me. The way he looked at me had completely changed. It was no longer contempt and disdain, but a complex mixture of fear and reverence. He took out his own answer sheet and compared it with my answers. His face turned pale. His 4 friends also quickly took out their papers to check. The result was the same. All 5 of them had made mistakes, some more, some less. As for me, I was completely correct. My solution, compared to their standard answers, was much more concise and efficient. If they were fighting with swords and spears, then I was using an intercontinental ballistic missile. We were on completely different levels. The library was silent. Everyone was stunned by this result. My brothers were dumbfounded for a long moment, then erupted in thunderous cheers. Brother Long is the best. Brother Long is mighty. They were so excited they lifted me up and tossed me in the air. The librarian wanted to stop them from being noisy, but seeing their excitement, the words got stuck in her throat. A gratified smile appeared on her face. Wu Jichao and his friends stood frozen in place. Like 5 statues, their pride and confidence had been utterly crushed by me. The knowledge they were so proud of seemed so fragile and pathetic in front of me. I came down from my brother's shoulders and walked over to Wu Jichao. Now, isn't it time to honor the bet? Wu Jichao's lips trembled. He looked at me, then at the brawny men behind me, who were excited but not mocking him. He took a deep breath, turned to me, and bowed deeply. I'm sorry. Then he turned to my brothers. He bowed again. We're sorry. We were the ones who looked down on you. His 4 friends also bowed and apologized, their attitudes very sincere. I nodded. All right, you can go now. But Wu Jichao didn't leave. He hesitated for a moment, then walked up to me and said in an almost pleading tone, Teacher Joe. The problem-solving method you just used, could you teach us? I was stunned. He actually called me teacher. Before I could answer, a student behind him immediately took out his wallet, emptied all the cash inside, and stuffed it into my hand. Teacher Joe, this is our tuition fee. Please, accept us as your students. The others also started taking out money. The scene became chaotic. I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. All right, put your money away. That method can't be explained in just a sentence or 2. If you want to learn, you can come and listen in the future. I won't charge tuition. When Wu Jichao and the others heard this, they were overjoyed. Thank you, Teacher Joe. They bowed to me again. Then they left reluctantly. This crisis was resolved just like that, and it brought me an unexpected result. The story quickly spread on the C University forum. Shocking. Math genius from C University crushed by a mysterious tattooed man in the library. Who is this man? He must be. I became a legend at C University. The next day, when we went to the library again, we found that it wasn't just Wu Jichao's group of 5. Dozens of students from C University's math department, physics department, and even the computer science department. They had all heard about me and came to admire my reputation. They surrounded us, asking me various academic questions. The scene was more intense than a celebrity meet and greet. My men were all stunned. They never imagined that their brother Long would one day become an idol for these top students. And they benefited from it as well. Those university students were very polite to them. They kept calling them Big Brother and explained problems to them in detail. Big Brother, the auxiliary line for this problem should be drawn like this. Big Brother, the root of this word means this, it'll be easier to remember. My brothers, for the first time, felt respected. This respect didn't come from their strong fists, but because their leader had knowledge. This made them even more motivated to study. The entire reading room presented a peculiar scene. On one side was a group of brawny men with dragon and tiger tattoos. On the other side was a group of top students from a prestigious university. These 2 groups, with completely different styles, sat together in unbelievable harmony, discussing the mysteries of knowledge. This must be the power of knowledge. It can transcend status, transcend class, transcend prejudice, making everyone who pursues it equal. On Zhao Sahai's side, he quickly learned about this. The people he sent to humiliate me had become my students. This made him feel like a joke. He was so angry he nearly destroyed his office. Useless, all of them, can't even handle a few gangsters. His subordinate asked tremblingly, "Fourth Master, what should we do next?" Zhao Sahai paced around the room with a vicious look in his eyes. If the soft approach doesn't work, we'll use the hard one. They want to take the university entrance exam, right? Then I'll make it so that they can't even enter the examination hall. With only a month left before the exam, the study atmosphere reached its peak intensity. My brothers were practically studying with their lives on the line. They all lost weight, but their eyes shone brighter and brighter. They were no longer the gang of thugs who only knew how to fight. They now had something called hope. That group of students from C University became our regular visitors. They not only came themselves but also brought their teachers and professors. A white-haired old professor from the physics department, after seeing Ahu's force analysis diagram, excitedly patted his shoulder. "Young man, you have talent. Your intuition for mechanics is better than the PhD students I teach. Are you interested in pursuing a master's degree in our physics department?" Ahu was so flattered he turned red, waving his hands. "Professor, don't joke with me. I'll be lucky if I can even get into an undergraduate program." But the professor was serious. "I'm not joking. As long as your entrance exam score meets the requirement, I will personally write you a letter of recommendation." Scenes like this happened every day. My brothers were gaining more and more recognition, and they were becoming more and more confident in themselves. I thought that things would continue peacefully like this, until 1 week before the exam, while we were taking our final mock exam in the library, suddenly, a group of police officers stormed in. The leader wasn't Lin Wan, but a middle-aged man I didn't recognize. He had a stern expression and held an arrest warrant. "Joe Long, you are a suspect in a case of intentional assault. Come with us." I was stunned. Intentional assault? When? I understood immediately. It was Zhao Sahai. He had framed me. Pao Zhang and the others rushed to surround them. "What right do you have to arrest our brother Long? This is a frame-up." The police immediately drew their guns. "Anyone who obstructs justice will be arrested." I stopped my hot-headed brothers. "Everyone, don't move," I said to the lead officer. "I want to see my lawyer." The officer sneered. "Get to the station first. You'll have plenty of time to see him there. Take him away." I was handcuffed. Before I left, I turned back to my brothers. "Don't panic. Trust me, and more importantly, trust yourselves. Even if I'm not here, you have to keep studying. The university entrance exam is your own battle. You're not taking it for me. Do you understand?" With tears in their eyes, the brothers nodded vigorously. I was taken away. At the police station, I learned that the situation was much worse than I had imagined. Zhao Sahai had found someone, had him break his own leg, and then insisted that I did it. He even found several so-called eyewitnesses. All the evidence pointed to me. It was a dead-end situation. The person in charge of interrogating me was the middle-aged officer who had arrested me. His name was Inspector Sun. He slapped a thick file of testimony in front of me. "Joe Long, the evidence is overwhelming. Are you still going to deny it?" I looked at him. "I didn't do it." Inspector Sun sneered. "Everyone who comes in here says that. I suggest you confess. You might get a lighter sentence." No matter what he asked, I refused to say another word. Inspector Sun, seeing my lack of cooperation, started to get angry. "Fine, Joe Long, you're tough. Let's see how long you can keep your mouth shut." He locked me in a holding cell. As the days passed, my heart sank. I wasn't worried about myself, but about my brothers. Without me, what would happen to them? Would they give up? Could they withstand the pressure and walk into the examination hall? On the day of the university entrance exam, I sat alone in the cold cell, listening to the ticking of the clock on the wall. I imagined my brothers, sitting in the examination hall at this very moment, fighting the final battle for their future. I don't know how much time passed. The cell door suddenly opened. Lin Wan walked in. She had lost weight and looked haggard, but her eyes were exceptionally firm. She looked at me. "Joe Long, I'm here to get you out." I was stunned. "What happened?" Lin Wan said, "There's new evidence in your case." She handed me a tablet. A video was playing on it. In the video, Zhao Sahai and the so-called victim were drinking in a club. The victim's leg was perfectly fine. There was nothing wrong with it. In the video, Zhao Sahai patted his shoulder and laughed loudly, saying, "Brother, thanks for your hard work this time. Once Joe Long is convicted, I'll give you a big red envelope. Then, the southern city will be ours." The evidence was ironclad. I looked at Lin Wan. "This video, where did you get it?" "I didn't get it. Your brothers did." I was stunned. "They?" Lin Wan nodded. "After you were arrested, they didn't give up. They studied while trying to find a way to save you. They knew Zhao Sahai would eventually slip up, so they had people watching him 24/7. But Zhao Sahai is very cunning. His whereabouts were erratic, and they couldn't find an opportunity. Just as they were about to lose hope, that group of students from C University gave them a hand. A genius from the computer science department wrote a small program and hacked into Zhao Sahai's phone. They located him, remotely activated his phone's camera, and recorded this video. I listened, dumbfounded, using hacking techniques to gather criminal evidence. That's quite imaginative. Lin Wan continued, after they got the video. They didn't report it to the police immediately because they didn't trust Inspector Sun. They sent the video directly to the City Police Bureau's inspection department. The higher-ups took it very seriously and immediately formed a special investigation team. Inspector Sun has now been suspended pending investigation. Zhao Sahai and his accomplices have also been taken into custody. Zhou Long, you're free. Lin Wan unlocked my handcuffs. I moved my numb wrists, a mix of complex emotions welling up inside me. I never thought that in the end, it wouldn't be my fists or my connections that saved me. It was my brothers, using the knowledge they had just learned, who cleared my name. Knowledge really can change our destiny. I walked out of the cell. The sunlight was blinding. I saw my 300 brothers standing in front of the police station, all wearing the school-like uniforms that said, "Knowledge changes destiny." They had just finished their last exam. They had come straight here from the examination hall. When they saw me, there were no cheers, no shouting. They just looked at me quietly. And then, in unison, they bowed to me. "Brother Long, we've finished the exam," Pao Zhang said. His voice trembled slightly. I walked over and patted their shoulders, one by one. "How did it go?" Ah Hu grinned. "Brother Long, don't worry. I solved all the major physics problems." Pao Zhang also puffed out his chest. "The last major math problem. I solved it too. Brother Long, for my English essay, I wrote about you." I looked at their faces, filled with confidence and joy. I knew that no matter what the final result was, we had already won. On the day the university entrance exam results were released, we all gathered in the nightclub hall. The atmosphere was even more tense than when we faced Mad Dog Wong. Everyone clutched their exam admission tickets, their palms sweating. I stood on the stage, looking at them. "Everyone, don't be nervous. If you did well, we'll pop champagne to celebrate. If you didn't, we'll fight again next year. Remember, the university entrance exam is just the beginning of life, not the end." I said that, but I was more nervous than anyone else. These weren't just their scores. They were mine, too. They were the validation of all my efforts over the past 6 months. At 3 in the afternoon, the score inquiry portal officially opened. Ah Hu was the first to walk onto the stage. He took a deep breath and entered his admission ticket number into the computer. He clicked search. The page refreshed. Everyone held their breath. The moment the scores appeared, the entire hall was dead silent. Then, an earth-shattering cheer erupted. 625 points. Ah Hu, a gangster who once couldn't even write his own name, scored 625 points. This score was high enough to get into any top university in the country. Ah Hu stared at the number on the screen, stunned for a long time. Then, this 190-centimeter tall man hugged the computer and burst into tears. Next was Pao Zhang, 589 points. Xiao Ma, 595 points. One by one, the brothers went on stage, entered their numbers, and received their own surprises. Of the 300 men, the lowest score was still 480, well above this year's undergraduate admission threshold. We all got into university. We had created a miracle that even we ourselves dared not believe. The entire nightclub became a sea of joy. We opened hundreds of bottles of champagne, spraying each other. Everyone was drenched from head to toe, but everyone's face wore the brightest smile of their lives. I didn't join in their celebration. Alone, I went to the office, closed the door, and took out that yellowed university entrance exam score report from the drawer. My 718 points. I stared at it for a long time. Then, I placed it together with the score reports my brothers had just printed. I took out a lighter and lit that piece of paper that belonged to the past. In the flames, I seemed to see the helpless young man from many years ago. He said to me, "Thank you for not giving up. And thank you for realizing my dream." I smiled, but tears streamed down my face unconsciously. The celebration party lasted late into the night. Everyone was drunk, lying scattered in the main hall. On everyone's face was a blissful smile. They were having sweet dreams. I cleaned up the mess on the floor alone. Just then, my phone rang. It was an unfamiliar number. I answered. "Hello?" A familiar voice came from the other end. It was Lin Wan. "Zhou Long, congratulations to you all." Her voice sounded very happy too. "Thank you. How did you know about us? Your story is all over the news now." 300 ex-gangsters wash their hands and ace university entrance exams. A true story of knowledge-changing destiny. Right now, you guys are city-wide celebrities. I forced a smile. This isn't what I wanted. Then what do you want? Lin Wan asked. I fell silent. What did I want? I wanted my brothers to have a bright future. I wanted them to live with dignity in the light. Now, this goal was half achieved. I hadn't thought about the rest. But the first step is to help them choose their majors. Then, throw a university acceptance banquet. And after that, send them to register at their universities. Once they're all settled, I'll think about myself. On the other end of the line, Lin Wan also fell silent. After a while, she said, Zhou Long, have you ever thought about going to university yourself? With your ability, you could do it easily. I cut her off. I'm old now. Opportunities should be left for the young. Lin Wan wanted to say more, but I hung up. I didn't want to talk about this topic anymore. Some regrets are destined to be irreparable. All I can do is not let my brothers repeat my mistakes. In the following days, I was swamped, helping them analyze majors at various universities, researching employment trends in different cities. I created the most suitable major selection plan for each of them. Ah Hu applied for civil engineering at Tongji University. He said he wants to be an engineer in the future and build the world's strongest bridges. As for Pao Zhang, he applied to the China University of Political Science and Law. He said he wants to be a lawyer in the future, especially for people like us. To provide legal aid, Xiao Ma applied to Beijing Foreign Studies University. He said he wanted to see the outside world. Everyone found their own path. A month later, acceptance letters arrived one after another. Tsinghua, Peking University, Fudan, Jiaotong. They covered almost all the top universities in the country. The main hall of our nightclub was plastered with these red acceptance letters, more glorious than any karaoke club's decorations. We held a grand university acceptance banquet. The students and teachers from C University all came. Lin Wan came too. She wasn't in her police uniform but wore a white dress. She looked less like a police officer and more like a teacher. At the banquet, she represented the city police bureau and presented us with a banner. On it was written, "A prodigal's return is more precious than gold." Knowledge creates a new life. Everyone was very happy that day. Only I felt a little empty inside, because I knew that after the banquet, it would be time for farewell. In September, the school year began. I drove a large bus to take my brothers to their respective universities, one by one. Every time we reached a city, every time I dropped one person off, my heart felt a little emptier. They held my hand, reluctant to leave. Brother Long, you have to visit us often. Brother Long, take care of yourself when you're alone. Brother Long, we'll come back to be with you after we graduate. I smiled and patted their heads lightly. Go on, go, study hard. From now on, don't say, be with me, anymore. Your lives have turned a new page. You must look forward. The last stop was Beijing. I dropped Xiao Ma off at Beijing Foreign Studies University to register. After getting him settled, I stood alone at the entrance of Tsinghua University. I looked at the sign that read, Tsinghua Garden. I stood there for a long time. This was my dream back then. I was just one step away, but it became a lifelong regret. A voice came from behind me. Aren't you going in to take a look? I turned around. It was Lin Wan. She had come to Beijing too. How did you get here? I was surprised. I've been transferred to work in Beijing, the Haidian substation, very close to here. I didn't know what to say. Lin Wan walked up beside me. She stood with me, looking at the school gate. Zhou Long, are you really not going to live for yourself, even just once? She brought it up again. I shook my head. My mission is complete. I'm very satisfied now. Lin Wan looked at me. But I'm not. I think you deserve much more than this. You should be standing inside here, not out here. She took an envelope from her bag and handed it to me. What's this? Your acceptance letter. I was stunned. I took the envelope and opened it with trembling hands. Inside was an acceptance letter from Tsinghua University for the Department of Computer Science and Technology. My name, Zhou Long, was printed on it. I was completely dazed. What is this? Lin Wan smiled. Have you forgotten? Your university entrance exam score that year was the highest in the province. Although it has expired, it can be used as supporting material for a special admission application. I just hope you submit a special application to the Ministry of Education, explaining that you missed enrollment that year because of family problems and being framed. The ministry officials reviewed your situation, and they were especially moved by how you led 300 brothers to get into university. They decided to make a special exception and give you another chance to enroll. I held the acceptance letter. It felt incredibly heavy. I couldn't believe this was real. I pinched myself. It hurt. It wasn't a dream. I, a former gang boss, an ex-convict, had actually received an acceptance letter from Tsinghua University. I looked at Lin Wan, and my eyes started to burn. Why did you help me? Lin Wan looked at me. Her gaze was gentle, because I believe a man who can lift 300 lumps of mud and plaster them onto a wall shouldn't be left stuck in the mud himself. Zhou Long, go and fulfill your unfinished dream. All of your brothers are waiting for you at the finish line. You're their big brother. You can't fall behind. I couldn't control my emotions any longer. I hugged her and cried like a child. All the grievances from the past years, all the resentment, and all the regrets, they vanished completely in that moment. The next day, holding my acceptance letter, I walked through the gates of Tsinghua University. I saw my brothers, Ah Hu, Pao Zhang, and Xiao Ma. They were all waiting for me at the gate. I don't know how they heard the news, but they had rushed here from all corners of the country. Seeing me, they looked even happier than I was. They surrounded me and tossed me into the air once again. Brother Long is amazing. Brother Long, we're fellow students now.